Welcome back. 8:40 to go in period number 1. 2-2 the score between Indiana and Purdue. Lightning fast skaters and goals all around the ice. Page and Ryder have the 2 goals for Purdue. Armstrong and Amel have the 2 goals for Indiana. Long shot by Dylan Franks goes wide. He had a breakaway chance earlier, but he was stymied by Aiden Meeker, the Hoosier goaltender. Both these teams, crisp passes, a lot of great offensive zone play, or lack of defense, whichever ideology you prefer. Purdue is slowly moving around in the defensive zone, trying to break out. They will get it to the neutral zone. Benjamin Jou will flip a high puck into the zone. Kirk back to get it for Purdue. Now there's a battle behind Mittenock. Indiana comes away with it, and they will play some catch at the blue line. Chance in front. Mittenock scrambles to the side and gets to the post for the save. Noah Shinerman had a chance with that loose puck, but Mittenock able to get to the post. Indiana with another chance in front. It's blocked away by Pickett before it can get to Mittenock.
Yeah, what a chance there by IU, trying to get back into this lead that they had early for a couple minutes at least, a couple seconds at the very least, and get back into the zone here. Looks like they're going to go for a change, and so is Purdue. Oh, big fall, no whistle.
I don't know how that wasn't a penalty, aid. And here's a chance ahead for Purdue. Low shot by Spalding is saved. Lower battling with Jou in the near corner right in front of us, trying to come away with this puck. More bodies are coming to help.
Loyer's one of those guys on this team that he's got to stay level-headed. He can't get back into the penalty box. Yesterday during trying he had 2. If he just stays clean and stays out of it, he's a good enforcer for this Purdue team. But that is the real key of staying clean, staying away from all the trouble.
No penalties yet in this first period. With a rivalry game like this one, though, I'm betting that's going to change at least.
Oh, I'm sure. Come the second, third period, maybe. Right now, they're just trying to get off to a good start. Come second or third period, the hits are going to come flying and the whistles are going to come soaring. So I imagine it will catch up.
The goals have slowed down a little bit. We had 4 in the first 10 minutes. None in the last 4. Both teams sort of settling into a groove here defensively. 2 Purdue bodies come up to keep that puck in. It was Groen and Toby. Toby gets pushed down, and Indiana will be able to clear. Paul Leto walking it up the right side, slowly dangles, shoots behind Mittenock. Now he'll come around to the left side. That puck is going to be kept in by Indiana.
Down went Groen. He was looking at that ref for a penalty. He wasn't able to get one. And both teams are just looking for something. No whistles have been blown.
Big shot for the point is knocked away.
Hit the shin guard of Toby there. He's going to have a nice little bruise at the end of tonight.
Frank will recollect it. Now Purdue has it through center. Looking for a pass to the middle. Page had it for a moment. Now sends it to the front. Shot is saved by Aiden Meeker.
What a save there by the tender. That wasn't an easy all-alone shot to take on himself, but he'd take it like a champ.
Indiana exits the zone, and that's really the key if you want to have any chance against this Purdue team is just break it out of your own zone because Purdue will hem you there for long periods of time. Indiana's done a good job so far of not getting hemmed in for very long periods. Both the goals from Purdue have been off of just quick rushes the other way.
And, yeah, that's something to try and figure it out last night with their 8-1 loss to this Purdue Boilermakers team. And we'll get a delayed penalty called off.
Delayed penalty coming up.
No, he called that off. He had his hand up like he saw something, but just made it.
I thought we were going to get a high stick. The official right in front of the camera did put his hand up. But no call, and we will play on with under 4:30 to go in the first.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, trying to find out if they let Purdue settle in the offensive zone, they're just going to keep hitting until they finally get one through. So I think IU's doing a pretty good job here to start of being able to clear this puck out and force Purdue to slow down and reset.
Scramble in front. Franks tried to slide it by the goaltender. It's loose in front, and the net got knocked off.
Oh, they'll call a penalty on the goaltender, 31, delay of game for kicking out that post. You know, it's something about this rink that happens a lot. I don't really think it was 31's fault there. He's gonna get the ding for it, but I don't think that was his fault.
Our official is struggling to get these posts back into the ice, and it's loose even on the post.
Yeah,
he's shaking it. I agree with you. I don't think that really should have been a penalty on Aiden Meeker, but somebody will have to serve 2 minutes for him in the box.
Yeah, that's a tough break for IU. Those posts have not been staying in all weekend, and they'll just get called for it.
I could sort of see the logic when you got a scramble in front and the post gets knocked off, because Purdue was moments away from scoring. It'll be Owen Hamburger who will go to the box to serve the penalty for Indiana.
You know, it's been a mixed bag for Purdue on power plays this weekend. Not being able to do anything after multiple opportunities that Trine gave them on Friday, but come yesterday they were able to score on 2 power plays. Could have been 3. I could be wrong on that, but being able to score on the power play has not really been Purdue's strong suit as of late.
Quick shot by Matthew Wheeler. Saved by Meeker. Purdue with another win off the draw. Groen to the middle. Toby shot just wide. Zhu will be able to clear it for the Hoosiers, and Purdue will go all the way down and chase it.
It's just it's a moral breaker for the goaltender there, getting a penalty on himself and something that isn't really good control. Here's going to have a fast break by Purdue shot, and oh, what a play by that defender, number 88 there, getting down and blocking that shot.
Nathan Young has done a solid job so far for the Hoosiers of breaking pucks out of the zone, like we've said. Theodore from the circle, just high. Groen collects it, gets it back to the blue line for Wheeler. Looking for space, drops it off. Shot saved by Meeker again, and he's coming up strong after he took that penalty. Puck is sitting down again. We're halfway through the man advantage for Purdue.
Some fortunate deflections there for the goaltender for IU. You know, he's able to it went between his legs, but he was able to get his skate on it, knock it out to the side, and not let that get in. Now here comes Toby down the center, another person you got to be kind of scared of when he gets going fast.
Toby and Groen, your first and third leading scorers in the conference, both on this power play. Scramble in front. Meeker went into the baseball slide, and it got tipped up and wide. Page collects it. Over to Rawlings, sent to the middle. Indiana knocks it away for the moment. They ring it up into the net. It's falling down next to us. Out of play, we'll get a face-off coming.
Scary situation for the goaltender there. You're down on the ground with no help, and you're just hoping that a Purdue stick doesn't get on it, or even your own stick and get knocked into the goal, especially down a man. It's not a fun situation.
20 seconds remain. Meeker has come up big after taking a delay of game penalty for knocking off the net. Purdue wins their 3rd draw of the penalty, and they will look for a chance here. 12 seconds remain. They walk it around. Chan along the side. Puck doesn't get through. Back around to collect it. It's rung along the side. It comes to the blue line. Chan gets it again. Sends it to the point. Rawlings looking just wide. Chan had a stick on it but couldn't quite get it through. Penalty is over for Indiana. Puck still in the zone. Now it's broken out. So Meeker, the goaltender, comes up with some massive saves and kills off his own penalty. Chan the other way. Knocked away by Meeker. Chan recollects in the corner. Looking for room, and he gets hammered into the boards by 2 Indiana defenders. Norris and Birnbaum stapled him to the glass.
You know,
now Indiana with a chance the other way.
Chan's one of those guys where if he gets on that fast breakaway, you know, he's a quick dude. He's small, he's fast, but has trouble finishing some of those breakaways that he gets. So it's something to watch as he is just a freshman, as he progresses into this league. just how he progresses in finishing each breakaway that he's given.
At a lot of points in time, he is the fastest man on the ice. Also a guy with speed. Groen walks it in, drops it back, saved by Meeker again, scramble in front. Indiana able to collect it, not able to clear. It's kept in. LeWare runs into the official again, then he gets cross-checked to the ground. No penalty, and Indiana will clear it through center. Walking it up the other way is Adam Valentini. In front, it's knocked up behind Mitnock on top of the net for a moment. Pickett battles behind the net.
You know, this is not a comfortable position for
clear.
the Boilermakers, or a usual one. You know, such a high-scoring game.
23
we'll get a penalty
seconds
on
to go in the period, and we're
the
getting
Hoosiers.
a penalty. It's Benjamin Zhu who will serve 2 minutes in the box for tripping on Tyler Groen. And at the end of this period, Purdue will have another man advantage, and Indiana has another penalty to kill off.
It's a tough break for IU here. You know, they thrive on this power play, the Boilermakers do, and they're going to get another 23 seconds and go into the next period with that power play.
Important face-off here from Amel, the leading scorer for Indiana. He does not win it. Purdue will have an attack for these last 20 seconds. Save made by Meeker, scrambling to the side. He's way out of the crease, but he gets back in. Puck set, Rawlings, another save. Scramble in front, and now it's cleared.
Yeah, what an excellent job by the Hoosier goaltender there. He stopped every one of those. I saw maybe 3 or 4 go his way.
5
seconds. Able to get in front of him.
Franks gets the pass. Long shot saved, and that will end the period. Aiden Meeker with some heroics after taking the delay of game penalty. We end the first with 4 goals scored, 2 each side, and Indiana will have a penalty to kill off to start the second. We will have that for you in 15 minutes. You are watching Purdue Boilermakers hockey. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Period 2 about to commence. Quincy Bell, Aiden Vrotny on the call for you lovely ladies and gentlemen today. 4 goals scored in the first. All came in the first 10 minutes. Aiden, what does Purdue need to clean up on the defensive end in this
Honestly,
period?
it's just getting that puck out of there. I usually come into this game watching their tape. It's pretty evident that they want to take Purdue's game and shove it right back in their face. They want to get back into that offensive zone and make sure Purdue knows they're there. So Purdue really just needs to work on cleaning up their defensive pokes and getting it out of their own zone and giving themselves opportunities.
Both teams have switched sides. Mittenaught will defend against the Hoosiers in front of us, while IU goalie Aiden Meeker will defend the Boilers on the far side away from us. Meeker had an impressive first period, I would say. Other than those first 2 quick goals, you could maybe say, oh, he could have corralled a rebound better here or there, but killed off a penalty and 30 seconds of one to end the third. Purdue will have 1:36 left on a tripping penalty that Indiana took. So they'll still be on the man advantage to start this second period.
You know, that IU goaltender, credit to him. He's really been a trooper through all this. There's been a lot of Purdue breaks where he's on the ground and he's flailing, trying to stop every puck that comes away. And for the better part of it, he has. You know, he's had a lot of pucks thrown his way by this feisty and persistent Purdue offense, and he's gotten in front of most of them. He's just got to be able to keep that up as much as humanly possible.
2 goals by each side, but both teams sort of settled into a bit of a groove defensively. I would say Purdue did a lot better job defensively in those last 10 minutes. Indiana was scrambling in front of their goaltender. A lot of chaos in front, but Purdue just couldn't bat the puck home to get a lead. They'll have to do that in the second period. We got 40 minutes left. The referees are discussing something along the glass.
Yeah, I think one of the Purdue things they're going to have to get better on is scoring on this opportunity that they've been gifted by the Hoosiers here to get in front of the goal. You know, they have already gone 0-1 on the power play. They might just go 0-2 if they don't get it together and put some pucks on net.
Big crowd on hand here at the Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion, and I think this is the biggest crowd we've seen from any home games this year.
Oh, yeah, it's a big rivalry game. It's a charity night down at Pop Weaver. Go to BoilerHockey.com to check those out and find some dates for charity games if you want to come support your Boilermakers and other various groups. Also, we have some other clubs in attendance. I know my personal program, the aviation program at Purdue, is some of those students are here, as well as the Boiler Ambassador. So we're welcoming to everybody. Again, BoilerHockey.com to find out some more information.
Both these 2 teams will face off again later in February at Frank Southern Ice Arena in Bloomington. This is the first of a home-and-home that these 2 teams play every year. Puck sent all the way down. No icing because we are on a penalty currently. Theodore will pick it up behind Mittenaught and drop it off for Toby. He's slipped a little bit and almost turned it over.
Yeah, Purdue looking a little sluggish here on the opening power play. You know, they only have a minute left. They've already burned 30 seconds just being in their own defensive zone, not being able to get anything out. And here they finally come.
Groen walking it through, dangles to the right. Walks it behind, now leaves it off. Wheeler to the center. Nice passes and it's scored! Cole Theodore gets the lead back for Purdue.
Yeah, what a little snipe there by the Boilermakers. Able to get it right past the shoulder and bury it top shelf. That's what you really love to see.
They convert on the power play and Purdue has the lead back. Indiana had the first lead of the game. They started up 1-0, then it was 1-1, then it was 2-1 Purdue, then 2-2 tie. Now it's a 3-2 lead for the Boilers. We've had a goal scored in the first minute of both periods now.
Yeah, that's one of the things I just touched on, getting effective on the power play. Boilermakers able to go 1-2 in the first 22 minutes of the game, and it's really exciting to see. It's one of the things that the Boilermakers struggled on this weekend, and looks like they're improving.
Puck sent all the way down, and it will be iced. 19:07 time of the goal. And Indiana will look to find an answer. They've had one both other times in the first.
I wouldn't put it past this Indiana team to find the rhythm here once they start settling in, maybe get some of those locker room jitters out of their system and get back into their own offensive zone. Maybe we'll put one back up, tie it.
Hoosiers able to clear, and they've been very aggressive on the breaks. Sometimes at the sacrifice of their own defensive ability. They did allow a breakaway in the first. It was not converted on, but every time that puck gets cleared for Indiana, they got two skaters up and ready to chase.
You know, both teams like to get fast breaks, but it's really hard for
3-on-2. Wheeler couldn't get the pass cleanly from Ryder, and that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you allow an odd man rush like that.
Yeah, it's just hard for both teams, you know, to get that break out when they struggle so much at center ice trying to get there and back.
Our referee shoved a drop stick all the way to the other end of the ice behind the play. Currently, we've got 6 bodies tangled up behind the net. Indiana comes away with it. Young will flip it out through center. The hand is up, and we will get another icing.
You know, one key to victory here is clean up the play. You know, get these effective poke checks, keep the puck in control, and keep it in your own zone. If you let the Boilermakers settle into that offensive zone, they will, and they will settle hard. So one of the things that they need to do is win the faceoffs, get the puck out, and keep control.
This is a very important game for ICHC standings. Purdue comfortably atop the standings at 7-0. Indiana at 5-2. The importance of this game really can't be underestimated, not only because it's a rivalry game and you want to win those, but should Indiana win this game, then now you're in a situation where you got Purdue at 7-1, Indiana at 6-2, and you still have a game in Bloomington later this year. So if Purdue wins this, they will all but have locked up first place for the regular season. But an Indiana win could make things really, especially when these two teams play again down in Bloomington.
Yeah, one thing can be said: whoever wins will be going back to Bloomington here soon with a chip on their shoulder, looking to punch right back.
Shots are relatively even so far: 15 for Purdue, 11 for Indiana. Passes in front, Indiana intercepts, they flip it down, and we are going to get yet another icing.
And that's one of the things they're looking for is they keep flipping that puck up. They're getting them icing calls. You know, they're able to clear the puck, but one thing comes to another. They're always returning back to that offensive or defensive draw for the Hoosiers, and it's just one of those things that you don't really like to be reminded of.
16:44 left to go in period number 2. Purdue has the early goal and the advantage, 3-2. Offensive zone face-off won by the Boilers, but Indiana able to chip it out. Neutral zone passes, Indiana recollects. Now Pickett has it and flips it into the zone. Chan will go back and chase for the Boilers. He comes away with it and sends it to the blue line where Troy Kirk has it. Now to Chan in the corner. It rings around behind. Frank sends it in front. Theodore couldn't get a stick on it. Purdue, however, will keep the attack going. Chan in the corner.
You know, it's important to note Kirk, the replacement D-man brought up from the second pairing up to the first to pair with Pickett since Aiden Owen has been brought out.
That goal is scored off the backhand by, I believe it was Kirk. We're pretty far away, but Purdue now has their first multi-goal lead of the contest.
Could have been Franks out there on number 72. Looks like the goal, but regardless, 4-2 Boilermakers. They're getting another comfortable lead, but if, you know, history is to repeat itself, we hope they don't settle into this lead and keep pushing ahead, because that's one of the things that gets them in trouble a lot of the time is they feel comfortable in a lead and then immediately drop their guard and let, 4 goals go past them.
No team has led by 2 goals yet. Indiana with a chance. Good pass in front, just wide of Mitnock. Sliding to the ground and making a pass behind his head was TJ Nyan. Pickett walks it through with speed, now drops it off. Chance in front, just wide of Meeker. Now it's sent all the way back to the blue line where it is recollected by Doucette. Franks does get credit for that goal. 4 goals on 16 shots. I think he'll take 25% any day of the week.
Oh, yeah, especially against this feisty IU team that likes to keep control. Here we go.
Indiana with a chance the other way. Pass it front. Knocked away by Campana. Now we got whistles.
Good defensive positioning there by Campana. You know, he likes for a good rook. First weekend actually playing and a first goal the other night on Friday. That was a good place to be able to get a skate on the puck and prevent the shot getting to Mitnacht.
Indiana will have an offensive zone opportunity. Carter Amel will take the face-off. And now he's getting sent out of the circle. Oh, he's going back in.
Looks like we got a double penalty here. Jake Pickett.
Yeah, double penalty after 2 guys got taken down. It's Pickett in the box for Purdue and David Hornback in the box for Indiana. So we'll have some 4-on-4 play here for a little bit.
It's a familiar place for the Boilermakers. This is their third 4-on-4 opportunity this weekend alone. You know, being not able to score on many of them. They did score on one, but it's a familiar spot for them.
Hoosiers walking in. Mitnacht sends it to the corner. Paul Leto out there battling with Wheeler. Wheeler's looking for room. He's getting harassed by Amel. Ultimately, Purdue is able to break it out. Wheeler through the neutral zone, slowly into the offensive zone. Long shot will be gloved by Meeker. 1:11 left in 4-on-4 play.
You know, about halfway through this game now, Purdue's trying to pull ahead. Is getting to pull ahead slightly. And, you know, they got to keep up this offensive effort. They just need to get control of the puck, get it down. Honestly, get some shots off Mitnacht. They've already seen that when they force Purdue to scramble, they score. So I think that's one of the things that they need to start working towards.
Puck is set all the way back to the blue line. Purdue keeps it in. Indiana looking to break out. They were doing that very well in the first period when they had both their goals and a quick little lead. But since then, Purdue has gone back to their usual forechecking dominance. 45 seconds left in 4-on-4 play. Indiana with some passes behind their goaltender looking to break out. Puck sent all the way through center. And
Frank, one of the guys honored here tonight. Torrin Frank, number 15. We haven't seen much of him in ACHA play, but what we have seen has been a pretty good defensive coverage by him.
7 minutes have gone by in the second. 2 goals, both coming for the Boilers. And this next goal for either side will prove crucial. Don't want to go down 3 before the third if you're Indiana, but if Indiana can get one back here, all of a sudden could come down to the wire. I don't know. With the way Purdue's been playing, I don't see Indiana coming back from down 3.
It's a very tough spot to be put down by 3 and going into the third period, knowing you have to go score 4 to win, 3 to tie. It's a tough position, but Indiana's been able to key them off, and they're trying to just get back in their own zone to score.
Zhu got a stick on that pass and knocked it up over the glass, so we will have a face-off upcoming. Senior night here at Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion for the Boilers. 7 seniors were honored before the game started. Groen, Rawlings, Theodore, Ott, Toby, Franks, and Ryder.
Oh, what a ripped shot there by Wheeler, being able to knock the glove off the Hoosier goaltender.
Franks recollects, gets it over to Rawlings. Spitting and sending it behind the net. Ryder, chance in front, couldn't quite cleanly get his stick on it. He had the second goal of the game to give Purdue a 2-1 lead. Way back in the first, this puck is cleared.
It's really nice to see the president of Purdue hockey, you know, a good friend of mine, to be able to get a goal on his senior night. It's really heartwarming to see, along with his another good friend, Cam Page.
The man who hired both of us and let us get behind the computer with some headsets on. He's a good guy. And in his last home game, he did get the goal, looking for some more.
Also worth mentioning, Matthew Wheeler helping to really found and get this whole program off the ground, being able to let us sit here and talk to you. He was also honored.
Letting us use his computer, too.
Oh, yeah.
He made the graphic that you see up in the upper left-hand corner and has helped us out in more ways than you could imagine.
A little bit of back and forth here between these two teams. None either really to get many shots off. Keep going back center ice and back behind the Hoosier net.
Pickett gloves it, puts it down in center. Indiana rallying to the puck, and they will look up the other way. Through with speed, chipped into the opposite corner. Puck rung around the back, and Indiana got caught in the middle of a change. Couldn't quite keep the pressure going.
Yeah, it's one of them coaching decisions where you got that pressure on you. You got to really weigh whether you want to change your guys right then and there. You got the puck in your own zone. You're in control. You really want to go shorthanded and give that puck up.
Indiana has struggled mightily to keep the puck in their zone this period. Toby taken to the ground, little pushing and shoving in front of the goaltender. And in the corner, the Boilers collect it and will look for an attack. Puck is dropped around back. Picked up, and Indiana desperately trying to clear, and they will get it out. Halfway through period number 2 and halfway through this ICHC rivalry matchup, 4-2, the lead in favor of the Boilers.
You know, it's kind of a little raw on the sting there for IU. You know, Friday night was the big basketball game in West Lafayette at Mackey Arena, where the Purdue basketball team was able to prevail. So I'm sure that's weighing on their mind. They're going to fight to redeem their school here.
Chance in front, just wide.
Yeah, that was an excellent opportunity. If you were able to get a stick on it on that left side, might have had a goal there, but just outside, couldn't really put it in.
In terms of the major American sports, you think basketball, football, baseball, hockey. Indiana leads in the football category. Purdue leading in the basketball category. Whoever wins this hockey one's going to have the 2-1 advantage, and then it's going to come down to baseball at the end of the year, I guess. Yeah. Indiana has a chance the other way. Backhanded shot, doesn't quite get through.
Some good puck tracking there by Mitnock, being able to keep his eyes on it at all times, get that pad saves of what he needs, and being able to get it done.
Indiana trying to sustain some pressure. Long shot, gloved by Mitnock. 19-15, the shots in favor of Purdue.
And that's kind of what we like to see at IU. If they're going to have a chance in this game at all, this is what they have to do. They have to keep the pressure on the Boilermakers, make them play defense. You know, let them make the mistakes of scrambling and then bury it.
Offensive zone draw for the Hoosiers. They will win it. Comes to the blue line and kept in. Oh, looks like our ref said over and back. Yeah, Jack Armstrong was going down there to chase, but would have been offsides. He had to just drop back defensively.
Yeah, that IU bench did not like that call, but whatever the ref says goes. They're not going to be too persuaded.
I don't really think it would have changed much. It looked like Purdue was about to recollect anyway.
Maybe a breath catch, a change for each team, but other than that, not much.
Pickett, long shot, tipped up into the ceiling and out of play. .8:20 to go in period number 2. No goals for Indiana since the first 3 minutes of this one.
And Indiana seems to have lost a little bit of steam here. Maybe they can regroup here in the third period or even at the end of the second period, but they got to score. They got to score soon if they want a chance. You know, you need 3 unanswered to win, only 2 to tie.
Kirk with a nice poke check in the defensive zone to make sure Indiana did not get a prolonged possession. Now the Hoosiers will chase in their defensive end. Nathan Young trying to break it out for the Hoosiers. Dangles through his own end. Toby is harassing him. And we're going to get a stoppage and maybe a penalty.
Yeah, it looks like the ref did have his arm up for the penalty. Looks like someone will be serving too.
I think it could be Toby.
Looks
2
like
minutes for hooking, if I had to guess. And he is the one going to the box. So it's a huge chance for Indiana. Up a man. This is their first power play of the game. This is going to be their best chance to draw this game within one.
Yeah, if I'm IU's coach now, I'm thinking, got to get aggressive here. I'm down by 2 goals. I have an opportunity to make it only 1, and then I have to just get one more lucky break to tie it up. I got to score here.
Face-off is won by Purdue. They send it all the way down.
A good face-off win by the Boilermakers. Burn a little bit off this clock. They just got to keep it up.
Armstrong and Amel have both the goals for Indiana. They are both on the ice on this power play. Walking it along the sidewall with speed, now comes to the point. Looking for lanes to pass. Into the slot. Shot is just high and knocked.
That was a good. We got a penalty over here. Man down. Delayed penalty. We'll go to a 4-on-4. High sticking on Groen.
Groen got taken to the ground off the high stick.
Number 4 for IU going to the box.
It'll be Paul Leto serving 2 minutes, and that's really the last thing they needed.
Right. You know, they had this opportunity for 35 seconds to make something happen, and they gave up another penalty, giving Purdue a 4-on-4 opportunity, essentially wiping out IU's power play.
It'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 25, and then Purdue will have 35 seconds on a man advantage, barring any more penalties during that time. Theodore can't quite win the draw. Indiana will have it for some 4-on-4 play. Quickly through the zone to the side of Mitnock. He had Doucette get pushed into him, but ultimately the puck stays out. Wheeler has it, flips it through to the neutral zone. He's through with speed, drops it off for Theodore, collects it off the wall, long shot saved. Behind the net, Wheeler's battling. Comes out for a moment, and Purdue still has it behind the net. Theodore out there with Doucette and Franks and Wheeler.
Real credit to Mitnock there. You know, it's really scary when you see 2 guys and a puck somewhere coming right at you, able to control the situation and get it out and prevent a goal.
Indiana breaks it out, 2-on-2 the other way. Crisscrossing it is poke check by Wheeler and take it away.
What a poke check there by Wheeler. He had no idea where he was coming from, able to get that stick up and the puck out.
It's like Jose Alvarado getting back on defense from behind when he hides behind the basket. Just
oh, yeah.
Come up, you didn't even know he was there.
Puck sent up and out of play by the Hoosiers. We'll get a face-off here in a second. Once again, I like to mention this is a charity game, and to find more information about it, you can visit our website at boilerhockey.com. To find out more about all of the charities that we run, we do run a lot. And if you'd like to come down and watch our games, we are at the Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion in Indianapolis, Indiana.
18 seconds left of 4-on-4 before Purdue will have a man advantage for 35 seconds. Rawlings sends it behind. Oh, scramble in front, and the puck is tapped in.
Tyler Groen, what a weekend he's having. That is probably, I don't know, maybe 5th or 6th for the weekend alone, probably more. And able to score one against a bitter rival. They like to see it. That bitch is pumped.
With a goaltender's worst nightmare, caught outside the crease. Puck turned over, and that's got to be demoralizing if you're Indiana. You just get the man advantage. You give it away on a penalty, and then you score a goal. Give up a goal like that, that's got to be really demoralizing.
That's one of the things where you got to be scratching your head if you're on the players Indiana. Like, what happened to our game? You know, we came out hot, and we had a power play opportunity. You know, we had that opportunity. We just gave up a penalty, and now it's back to now Purdue's back on the power play after getting their own goal 5-2.
Toby up the right wall with speed, walks it in. Puck just wide of Meeker. Kept in.
Very hard position for the Hoosiers here. Down 3, only 5 minutes left in the second. They're going to have to either get some goals now or come into the next period with some speed. And what a save there by Meeker. You know, Crone was riding up. He was ready to put that in with some speed. He was able to get over there with his glove and his body and make sure that didn't get past him.
Had to go to the backhand on that one. I feel like if he caught that cleanly in front, we'd be looking at a 6-2 game. 8 seconds left on the Purdue man advantage. Page out there to take the faceoff. He will win it. Purdue will send some passes around and shoot one, and saved by Meeker off his blocker. We're finally back to 5-on-5 play. 3 goals in this period for Purdue. 21-15 the shots. And Indiana they've come out flat ever since the first half of the first period.
It's like a cold start in a diesel here in this weather in Indiana. You know, it's gonna sound good at the beginning, and then it's gonna poo-poo on you, and that's what Hoosiers have been trying to prevent. They're trying to get back in this offensive zone right now. Let's see if they can do it in the third period and try and get back somewhat a semblance of back into this game.
Turned over by Wheeler. We got a man down way behind the play. Page got taken down.
No penalty called.
Convert off the chance. Doucette walks it in. He has his poke checked. Now it's recollected by Page. Spinning around, looking for a pass. Ultimately, it comes out to Indiana, and they will dangle through center.
Good stoppage there by Doucette, staying in front of that attacker at all times and not letting him pull anything fast on him and getting that puck away. It's a good play.
Chipped in behind, and Indiana will look to get some fresh skaters on. Frank will clear it out for Purdue. For a moment, it's intercepted. Indiana through the zone. Shot is scored, and the Hoosiers almost back in this one. Jack Armstrong with a rip off the turnover, and the lead is cut back to 2.
Yeah, that's just a hard position for Mitnock. He's got a defender down after a bad interception. He's able to save one, but it turns to a stick of the IU attacker, and he's able to bury it up top.
So the lead is back down to 2. Armstrong with a quick shot in front. 5-3 now.
Now IU's feeling back into this game a little bit. One more goal, and they're only down by 1. It's a good momentum builder in the last couple minutes of the second period. If they're able to get one more off, they're going into the locker room feeling good.
If Indiana can get past these last 3.5 minutes, and like you said, go in only down 2 goals, you got to feel like you'll have at least a decent chance coming out in the third. And if they can get another one back, that'd be even better for their case. Long shot blocked away.
I don't know about you, but if I'm going into the locker room down by 3, I'm feeling a little demoralized. 2, I think, might just be a little doable. You know, I've scored 2 in the period before. I just got to do it again.
Puck picked up by Ott, leaves it off for Kirk, sends it through center. It's intercepted by Indiana. They will drop it back and look for a play to break out. Battling in center. Frank's looking up the other way, dangles around into the corner, looking for a man. Now Indiana picks it up, and they will clear. 2:38 to go in the second.
This kid, Shinerman, he's got some speed on him on the break.
Mitnock to the ground, but Indiana couldn't get the puck on their stick while he was there.
What an opportunity for the Hoosiers there.
Theodore with a chance in front, just slipped off his stick. Meeker sends it aside for his teammate, and Indiana will get it out again.
An opportunity there for IU, just lost. Mitnock was beat. He was on the ground, maybe an inch or 2 higher, and they would have had it. Shot sent into Mitnock's chest. He loses it out to his left side, able to recover, but still, Mitnock's gotten some pretty good breaks here in this second period of play.
Frank's shot saved by Meeker. Under 2 minutes to go. Puck is sent slowly all the way out, no icing. Indiana wins the race. Ethan Timpey with speed, and the Hoosiers are looking to keep this one in their offensive zone to try to get another goal heading into second intermission. Passes behind Mitten, knocked off the boards, ultimately comes to the left wall. Sent behind again. Minute 30 left in the period. Doucette picks it up and he will toss it way up and out. Back to receive his hamburger for the Hoosiers.
A little bit of a breather there from it. Knocked him out, long-lived, but still able to clear the puck and maybe get a reset.
Indiana couldn't get a clean stick. Now it's sent in. Under a minute now to go in period number 2. Indiana desperately trying to get another goal to cut this lead to 1 heading in to the third. Groen is able to get it for Purdue. They have a rush the other way. Dangle is poked away.
Boilermakers looking for a weekend sweep, going 2-0 against Trine.
Almost a penalty there. Rawlings got tripped up in front of the net.
Little trip there by Meeker, but no call. Purdue bench is not happy about it.
32 seconds. Meeker's already been called for 1 penalty in this game. A delay a game call for knocking the net off its posts. 24-17 the shots in favor of Purdue.
You know, it's hard when your goalie gets frustrated. Makes him off his game just a little bit. Meeker's got to learn, got to control that and make sure he does the best he possibly can.
Long shot tipped in front and comes to the chest of Meeker, so we'll have another face-off with 28 seconds.
Getting a lot of opportunities here to get that draw, to get a slap shot for Purdue, and IU not being able to keep it within and send it out.
Face-off won by the Boilers, 25 seconds to go in the second. Puck is battled for behind the goaltender. It's tipped out. Indiana trying to get a stick on it, but Groen lays a hit, and then he gets hit into the corner. 14 seconds.
Oh, Toby attempted to get that big-time hit, but good for that IU defender or attacker to stay sturdy.
Puck is set all the way down. Ott gets hit in the back with 4 seconds, and now the period will come to a close. It'll be 5-3 heading into the third. 3 goals for Purdue in the period, 1 for Indiana, and the Hoosiers will be playing from 2 down heading into the third. Quinsville and Vrotny will have the call for you from the third period after this short break. You're watching Purdue Boilermakers Hockey. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quincy Belli and Vrotny here from Indianapolis, getting ready to broadcast and give you the third period here from Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion. After a 2-2 first period, 3 goals for Purdue. In the second, Indiana scored the final one to make it 5-3. Aiden, what did you like out of Purdue in that period, and what do they need to keep doing to hold off for this win?
You know, Purdue really realized in that second period that if we don't keep the gas on IU, then they're going to come back and score, so we need to keep the gas on ourselves and get into that offensive zone and keep making sure that we throw it in their face. You kind of saw them slip just a little bit towards the end of the second period where they did give up a singular goal. But I think if Purdue wants to keep this game and lock it away, then they're going to have to keep throwing it in their face and stay offensively sharp.
24-17 are the shots in favor of Purdue. And I have a feeling that this next goal will be the biggest one of the contest. I think if Purdue gets another goal, makes it 6-3, they should be able to close it out no problems. If Indiana gets the next goal, makes it 5-4, then things get interesting down the stretch. So both these teams are going to need to start this second period strong.
I agree. You know, this next game, or this next goal will really decide. You know, IU's going to have a tough time playing down from 3. Playing down from 2 is doable, hard yet doable, but playing down for 3 is almost impossible.
Carter Amell working along the side wall for Indiana, had his puck poke checked. Long pass through center, dangled by Groen, but
you know, I do qualify that with almost impossible. You know, we have seen teams do it against this Boiler team, namely Butler, but, you know, it's still a hard thing to do.
Chance in front, off the post. Toby had a chance. Puck recollected and sent in.
They go a millimeter down, and that puck would have went in. That's one Toby's going to want back. And, you know, the IU tender, you know, once I think in that post, giving it a couple of little love taps.
Aiden Meeker had a rough second period, to say the least. Let in 3 goals, and one of them he was way out of his crease. After I thought he had a really strong first period, despite the 2 goals, he was standing on his head. But
I agree. I
think
think
he's going to need a good third.
I agree. I think that's as good of a first period that the IU tender Meeker could have hoped for. You know, didn't give up, only gave up 2. The other team did give up 2 as well. So, I mean, that's a good period. But when you come out to the third period and let up 3 in a short span of time, it's kind of tough. It looks like he's bouncing back a little bit better.
Offensive zone draw for Purdue. Theodore out there against Amell, and Theodore will win it. It's kept in and now blockered away. Purdue scrambling in their defensive zone. It's turned over. Indiana will have a chance.
That's a good defensive core there on the ice for the Boilermakers. Pickett and Kirk able to break up some of it, but still Mittenock's trying to fight in front of the goal. He's able to get a kick off one of them, and it gets it out of there for a little while.
Indiana has been crashing the net. There were a lot of bodies in front of Mittenock there, but the puck did not get through. Indiana looking to set up another attack. Some lazy neutral zone passes will now give possession to the Boilers. They'll just set it down and look for a change.
That's good. And that's a good play by the Boilermakers. Get that puck out. Let them give themselves to get some fresh skaters on the ice after that big offensive hoopla right in front of the net.
Meeker tried to blocker that puck away with Ryder in pursuit. It just kind of got stuck under his pad, so just stay there and cover it. And we'll have another face-off with 17:54 to go in the game.
It's a very experienced line out here on the ice right now. Cam Page at center. Rollins and Ryder on his sides. Very experienced line. Most of them leaving after this year. Sad to say we miss them, but it's nice to have them on the ice.
Indiana has brought some more forechecking intensity, sort of what we saw in the first period. And they send a long shot from the point. It does not get through. Ryder collects it at center, sends it to the middle. Rawlings with a chance all the way around the side, looking for the wraparound pass. It is not there. It's battled behind. Ryder was able to get to it, but Indiana ultimately with possession through center. It gets tipped down into Purdue's defensive end. Both teams are looking for some changes.
They'll get a penalty here on somebody. Had a hand up. Got a stick on puck. Oh, apologies.
I think,
Brought back down
I
for
think the
icing.
hand was just up for icing.
Yep. Apologies, icing. But, yeah, that's tough break. IU able to get it out of their own zone after a little bit of a tie-up and brought all the way back down.
3 minutes gone by in the third. Shot off the face-off tie-up is saved by Meeker. Purdue with a chance behind the net. It comes to the front. It's intercepted by the Hoosiers. They're looking to exit the zone with speed. It's poke checked away.
Yeah, this IU team, obviously the bench is a little frustrated, and the players on the ice are frustrated. They just can't get anything on them. Every time they get a stick on it, it's gone immediately.
David Hornback had his stick knocked out of his hand. He's back to pick it up. Puck rung around the side. Indiana able to clear for the moment. It's sent back in again. Comes to Meeker, and he'll just softly block it away.
You know, all told, it's been a pretty almost even offensive matching here for both teams. Purdue being able to get more edge, and the shots aren't too disproportionate. Purdue able to bury a couple more of those, but you know, I wouldn't say these teams are too lopsided one way or the other, especially on the defensive side.
Are the shots. Groen turns it over at center. Indiana looking for some more forechecking intensity. They will not be able to sustain a possession. Purdue has it in front, blocked away by Meeker. That pass almost got through for a nice chance. Indiana looking for a counterattack. Paul Leto brings it up the other way.
Ooh, big hit right there in front of the net on Jake Pickett. He's gonna get a cover.
Leto slid into the net. That's where he is now.
Jake Pickett's going to the box.
It'll be 2 minutes.
Roughing.
For roughing
big
on
hit.
Jake Pickett.
Big hit right in the center there. He went down hard.
Jake Pickett, big physical body out there. Definitely a valuable piece to this Purdue team, but does take his fair share of penalties, and Indiana will have another power play chance. They took a penalty of their own on their first power play opportunity. So this will be their first chance to really try to sustain a penalty attack.
You know, that's one of the things that's kind of invaluable on a team like this. You need that big body enforcer out there like Jake Pickett to make sure everybody knows they're on the ice and that they're in control.
And he really is a valuable body to have on this Purdue team. And if he takes a couple penalties, that's just what you're going to get with a big body defenseman.
Right.
Hoosiers looking to hem Purdue in their own zone on this power play. Along the right corner, spinning, sent back to the blue line. Looking for lanes. Long shot. Mitnock sees it through the traffic and makes the save. And now we got some pushing and shoving in front of the net. Referees are in there to break it up.
Oh, referee took a player down. He bodied him, picked him up, threw him right back down on the ice.
Jack Norris is not too pleased at the moment. He's having to be restrained. And we might see some more people heading to the box. Franks is in there now, as well as Norris for Indiana.
That was a big hoopla right in front of the net. That was almost really impressive. That was honestly really impressive to see from that referee. You know, I kind of got a clear shot of that. He picked him up, put his butt on the ice, showing him who was there.
So now we're going to have some more bodies in the box, and I believe those are just offsetting, so it'll still be a 5-on-4 advantage for Indiana, not a 4-on-3. Minute 14 left on the advantage for Indiana, and all of a sudden, temper's starting to flare a little bit in this rivalry matchup.
Yeah, you're really starting to see it, especially now in this third period of play. Both teams, IU's trying to pull back ahead, and Purdue's seem to settle into this lead. You know, that's one of the things I warned against, but here they come now.
Puck is cleared all the way back. Toby's back for Purdue, trying to keep it there. He's going 1v4 right now. Ultimately, Indiana able to recollect and get it out. Toby gets tangled up And we got another delayed penalty. Meeker was on his way to the bench. And I believe it's going to be Toby for hooking.
Oh, that's something you don't want from, yeah, it will be Toby for hooking. That's something you don't want if you're the Boilermakers. Now you're giving IU a real good chance to score here. You're only down 2 and you have 2 men in the box. Ugh, tough situation for the Boilermakers. Hopefully they're able to pull them off, but it's a real good opportunity for the Hoosiers.
5 on 3 for 49 seconds. And this will definitely be Indiana's best chance to pull this within one. They have to convert here. They're looking for lanes, slowly moving the puck around.
They're taking their sweet time, and they know they can. They have 40 seconds to get shots off, and oh, what a good clear by the Boilermakers.
Meeker drops it off. And, you know, Purdue's going into the triangle out there defensively. It's Theodore, Doucette, and Wheeler out there as the 3 for the Boilers.
It's a good defensive trio there.
Indiana will have it. 18 seconds left on the 5 on 3. Slowly looking for lanes. Cubs to the blue line.
They're looking for anything and everything that they can put their stick on. They got time. They have 7 seconds till they're
Shot
back to
blocked
a 5
away
on 4.
by Mitnocht. Indiana keeps it. 2 seconds to go on the 5 on 3. Out of the box is Pickett to help defensively. Indiana couldn't quite connect on that pass. They're still up a man for 1 more minute. Puck loose in front of Mitnocht. Ultimately, it comes to his glove side, and he will cover with 13 minutes to go in the game and 58 to go on the Toby penalty.
What an effective penalty kill there for the Boilermakers. Only letting a couple shots off, and the ones that do were covered up pretty fast.
Indiana has been stymied on this power play. The penalty kill for the Boilers has looked very strong, but they need it for a few more seconds. Behind the net, big hit late. The puck is cleared by the Boilers.
It's a good position.
Meeker out of the goal to get it. He will.
Good position to be in for the Hoosiers
back.
a couple seconds ago. Up 2 men with 2 goals to go. Now they only have up 1 man with 2 goals to go still. They got to score, and you got to score now.
Puck Cubs to the right wall. Indiana looking to keep this in. Purdue's done a great job of exiting their defensive zone. Long shot, sliding block by Page.
Purdue loves that save, and honestly, the crowd does too. You know, this Purdue home crowd loves seeing their Boilermakers succeed.
Now Page is back on the back check, trying to create some havoc himself. Big hit late along the sidewall by Noah Scheiderman of Purdue.
Even strength, effective double penalty kill for the Boilermakers, going down 2 men and not letting anything go by.
And Indiana had to have a goal there. I feel like, you know, they've been stymied pretty much since this first period. The only goal they had was off a turnover. It felt like they really needed to score there to cut this lead to 1. Purdue, though, the penalty kill coming up huge, no way around it.
Pretty consistent on is being able to score off Purdue's mistakes, and Purdue, for their part, hasn't made too many, but for the ones they have made, they've suffered for.
Zhu will pick it up for Indiana. He waits behind the net and drops it off for TJ Nyan. He turns it over. Purdue has it, looking for a chance. Behind the net they look. It's picked up. Loer has it, sends it to the front. It's blockered away by Meeker. Kept in by Purdue, looking for a pass in front.
Campagna, that's one of those new young guys. They're looking to become a future star of this team. You know, he had his first debut and his first goal the other night.
Indiana was looking for a breakaway the other way, but couldn't quite connect to the pass, and the puck was iced.
We'll get an offensive zone draw for the Boilermakers, up 5-3, 11-16 left. You know, I want to ask you, what do you think the key for the Hoosiers to get back into this game? You know, it is possible, but what do you think they got to do?
They just got to keep up the forechecking intensity, I think. I mean, I felt like in that first period they came out with all the energy and were hemming Purdue in their own end. Since then, though, it's just been Purdue back to their normal formula of just protecting the blue line and sustaining attacks. Indiana just really, even when they were up 2 men, they just couldn't really sustain much offensive zone time. I don't know if it's just some tired skaters in this game or what, but that's what they're going to need to do to cut this lead down.
We'll get an offsides call. Ryder was over the line when Rollins crossed, but I do agree. I think the Boilermakers, or the Hoosiers, pardon, they came out of the gate with a bunch of steam, getting those first 2 goals pretty quick, but then eventually sputtered out and can't really get anything yet. As of yet, we'll see if this last 10 minutes proves any fruitful.
Purdue wins the draw. Tic-tac-toe, passes in front. It's sticked away by Meeker. Indiana desperately trying to break out, and they cannot. Once again, Purdue's keeping them down there. Frank's behind the net looking to intercept a pass. It's gloved and set down by Theodore. The blue line is just so well protected from these Purdue defenders, and then you just let the offense go to work.
Or just staying up by those boards, knocking everything that comes down, and then sending it right back to the center or behind the net.
Pass in front, knocked away. Indiana looking to break this one out. They got a 2-on-2 coming. Pass could not get through. And that's another thing. Active sticks for Purdue. I feel like every single pass Indiana tries to make, there's a stick there. Every single time a Hoosier skater gets the puck, he's got a Purdue defender jab it at him, poke check.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of a staple that's been part of this Purdue team's identity throughout this whole season. Is every time the team tries to get back into the offensive zone, they've got sticks there ready, waiting for them.
Hoosiers look the other way. Puck shot just over the head of Mitt, knocked it off the glass. Indiana can't keep it into the blue line. Purdue has a rush the other way, 2-on-1. Toby over to Groen, and he scores!
What a nice little move by Toby to Groen. Wow, what a move. Toby was looking, he didn't have anything on his right side, sends it over to the top goal scorer and points leader for the Boilermakers, Groen, and just tabs it into that left little side. Beats the tender on IU, and nice little goal there.
2-on-1 from the first and third leading scorers in the ICHC, and that could be all she wrote on this one. 6-3 with 9:30 to go. Perfect pass there, the 2-on-1. You know, you're taught if you're the only guy back on the 2-on-1, you play the pass. Indiana played the shooter. Pass was there, and Groen banged it home.
The chemistry between Toby and Groen there to be able to get that pass just off perfect and poked into the goal is just, it's beautiful to watch.
9 minutes to go. And Indiana, I believe in these next 2 minutes that they have to get one. If they
have to get
any
one.
Chance.
And it's going to be a mountain to climb. You got to be honest with it. You know, it's a mountain to climb to get down from a 3-goal deficit with 8:45 left. It's not impossible, but still a mountain yet, and they got to try.
Campana doing a good job on the forecheck, trying to hem Indiana in their defensive end. 2 guys push Anthony Pinto into the bench. 31-23, the shots in favor of Purdue. And I think when Indiana didn't score on that 5-on-3, I think that's really what sealed the fate in this game.
That's what it came down to. When you're given the opportunities, when Purdue makes mistakes like that, they got to come out and swing in and get some of these opportunities back. But they just weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's really what's holding them back.
So if Purdue, should they hold on in these last 8 minutes, would move to 8-0 in conference play and 15-7 on the year. They're currently 14-7. They started the year 1-5, 13-2 since. They've really turned it around.
You know, it's a shaky start for this team, but I just think it's because of this young identity that the Boilers are trying to make. You know, obviously we've seen senior night tonight here, and we're having a lot of players leave. But we also have a lot of young freshmen coming in, so they're trying to build an identity and then trying to find it in the first couple weeks. And I think they have found it, and they're starting to build into their own, starting to lead in and qualify for nationals coming up soon.
You need to be in the top 16 nationally to make it to nationals, and Purdue currently sits at 16.
Yeah,
so not a lot of room for error. But a lot of the games they played out of conference earlier in the year, they played 2 games against Oakland, who was ranked 3rd, and they played 2 games against Notre Dame, who was ranked 4th. And in all 4 of those games, I know Purdue went 0-4 in all those, but they were really competitive in all those games, and I think it really prepared them for this dominant stretch.
It really is a hard schedule for these Boilermakers. You know, they didn't leave themselves much room for error, and I think they did, and that's honestly a good and respectable move. You know, you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
And ultimately, those are the teams you're going to end up playing come year's end. So playing those teams at the start of the year is only going to have you better prepared when the time comes. Long shot by Carter Amel is just high of Mitnock. 6:30 to go in this contest. Zhu picks it up, now drops it for Amel. Indiana in desperation mode. Gotta think that Aiden Meeker will be going to the bench sometime soon, down 3 goals.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the coaching decisions. It's a really tough one, you know, with how good the Purdue defense is about getting that puck out. Do you want to call that goalie or get your extra man, or do you want to wait?
Franks up ahead, drops it off for Theodore. Long shot, blockered away by Meeker. Puck is loose around the back. Leto able to pick it up and exit the zone for Indiana.
What a good little save there by Meeker. Being able to track that puck and keep it and knock it away just in time.
Chan got hit with a high stick. The ref doesn't even know that Meeker has the puck.
Late whistle on that. Meeker was trying to show him that he had the puck, saying blow the damn whistle, but just wouldn't.
Yeah, Meeker was just kind of standing there looking at him like, I don't know why we're still playing.
Yeah. Chan and some of these Hoosiers getting a little feisty here, maybe trying to draw some penalties, unable to do so, but we're going to go to an offensive draw for the Boilermakers.
Purdue looking to just keep this in the offensive end for these last 5 minutes. Maybe add another goal for good measure. Spalding drops it off for Laware. Campana sends it to the blue line. Wheeler keeps it in. Long shot from the blue line. Meeker blocks it away. Indiana looking to exit, and they will. Noah Shinerman up the left wall.
Yeah, it's a good performance here by the Boilermakers. And we got a
hand
delayed
is
penalty.
Up. We will have a penalty. Scramble in front of Mitnock. Now we got some pushing and shoving behind the net.
Oh, a stick that just went straight down. Meeker's calling for somebody. I think he wants Mitnock, but we saw it stick go down hard.
It's hard to see what's going on from this end of the ice. Just a lot of bodies tangled up there. Meeker clearly upset. Came way out of the net. And we are going to get a Boiler headed to the box. It's going to be Drake Ott serving 2 minutes for something. Groen is discussing with the ref.
Yeah, it's when you get playing in front of the goalie like that, especially in this kind of rivalry, you're gonna have some heated emotions. You just got to keep them in check. Make sure nobody messes with your tendy, but you also got to know you can't go to the box like that.
Looks like Shinerman will also be going to the box for Indiana. Those are the two that got tangled up along the back wall behind Mitnock. .448 to go in this game, and you know, remember what I said earlier when, you know, we haven't seen a penalty yet, but in this rivalry matchup, there's sure to be some to come.
Oh, definitely.
They definitely have came. We've had 2 sets of offsetting roughing calls. 5-on-3 for Indiana, couldn't convert. Purdue with the 2-on-1 the other way, and the goal.
You know, Purdue, for their part, they've been half effective, half not on the power play, but the kill, they've been 100% effective. You know, that's something to be said. If you can't let anything get by when you make mistakes, it's a really good sign for things to come.
So we're going to, looks like we are going to get some 4-on-4 play here. Sometimes when you have offsetting calls, it just keeps going 5-on-5. And the last time we had 2 offsetting roughings, Indiana just kept their man advantage at 5-on-4 instead of 4-on-3. This time we'll play some 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
4-on-4 really opens up the ice for both teams. Whoever's got the puck is going to have a chance, honestly. Get you a lot more open ice to deal with, maybe a little less in front of the net.
Purdue intercepts at center. Toby up ahead, dangles, backhand, shoots, no good, rebound. Meeker finds it and will just sit on it and look for a face-off.
Good tending there by Meeker, being able to keep track of that puck, and as soon as he knows he's on top of it, just flop down on it. No point of getting back up and risking a stick getting in there and pushing it in. Just stop the play, reset, give your guys a little bit of a breather.
Amel wins the defensive zone draw for the Hoosiers. Leto almost put it in his own net, had Meeker surprised for a second. Amel threw into the offensive zone. He had the first goal of this game. Only 20 seconds into it, gave Indiana the 1-0 lead, but it's been all Boilers since. 6-3 with 4 minutes to go and a minute 15 left in 4-on-4.
You really like to see this showing from the Boilermakers. A really strong team trying to get into nationals. IU, it's a tough break, but, so is the way of a rivalry. Both teams are going to come out with ferocity, and Purdue was able to get ahead just a little bit more.
Leto walked that play in off sides, and we'll get a neutral zone faceoff. Some Kendrick Lamar being played in the building. Ada, what do you think of him doing the Super Bowl halftime?
Oh, I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan myself. I'm looking forward to seeing him at the Super Bowl next weekend, but yeah.
I personally wanted them to give it to Lil Wayne, the New Orleans native. They did not. They went with Kendrick Lamar. I think he'll put on a good show. As for the actual game, who are you thinking? Chiefs or Eagles?
Oh, you can't. It's a fool who bets against the sure thing, and I think the Chiefs are going to walk away with a 3-peat. How could they not?
I think I'd have to agree with you on that one.
This game, however, it's a real tough one. The Boilermakers came in probably favored. If I was a betting man, I would say these were the favorites. But when they came down to it, they showed up and showed out, getting 6 goals. They only let up 5 against the Trine on Friday night. To be able to put up 6 against a tougher IU team, really something to be said for this Boiler offense.
So Indiana will fall to 5-3-1 in conference play. Purdue improves now to 8-0. Yet to have a conference defeat. They have one more game against Indiana coming in Bloomington later this month. And then I believe it's 2 more games against Cincinnati, who sits at the bottom of the conference.
Another effective penalty kill there for the Boilermakers, back to even strength. What a just solid defensive playing and showing by the Boilermakers.
Purdue with a dominant performance, especially defensively in this third. 34-27 the shots. They've been pretty even, but at the end of the day, more offensive zone time for Purdue, and I think better goaltending as well.
Oh, yeah. Meeker, he's done a pretty good job at some of the opportunities he may want to have had back. There's a couple where just got past him. He just plain up got beat, and it's hard. With Mitnock, with his goals against him, there's a bunch of people in front of him, and, that's just time when that rookie's got to keep cool. Meeker's shown to keep cool and just got to let a couple too many go by him.
Puck battled for along the left side wall. Comes around behind Meeker. Rawlings will get it, sends it to the front. Now it's knocked away. Kirk has it back to Rawlings in the corner. Sent around the back, and now Ryder will take it along the left side wall. Back to Rawlings behind the net. Sent in front, knocked away by Indiana. Amel looking to clear it out. Comes to the point, long shot, blocked away by Meeker. Diving to the ice is Ryder, couldn't get it past. Amel recollects it now, and he will break it out, and Indiana could not connect on the long pass. The puck will be iced with 1:30 left. This is Purdue's last home game of the year. We don't know if we will be broadcasting the conference tournament in Columbus, Indiana.
I do hope so, but that'll be yet to be seen, and I'm sure if you follow us on any of our social pages, at Boiler Hockey or at Purdue Hockey, you will find that out, and you will find out where it will be streamed. But I hope this isn't the end, because I have thoroughly enjoyed this season, and we'll be looking to follow our team to the conference.
If this is the last broadcast we're able to do, I have had a lot of fun this season. I know Aiden has as well. Season not over yet, though, for Purdue. Despite this being the last home game, this puck is iced again.
Sent all the way back. You know, part of you thinks, is this the Hoosier game plan? You know, you got 1:30 left. Get the puck down. See if you can get a non-icing call and have that puck down there, or keep coming back.
Beaker hasn't bothered going to the bench yet.
I don't know. I'm starting to think
down 3. I don't know if that's in the
It's
cards.
probably not a wise idea. You know, three is tough, but 4 is impossible. Not impossible, but tougher.
Minute 15 left. Indiana picks it off the turnover. Loose puck is collected by Purdue. They'll send it in. Meeker blocks it aside. Rawlings chicks it up. Campana dangling and looking. Under a minute now. Big battle right in front of us.
We'll get a whistle here. We'll go to the face-off dot. 49 seconds left. I'm pretty sure Purdue has this one locked away. Throwing away the key. We'll see what happens in the next 49 seconds.
8-0 in conference play after these 49 seconds, as well as 14-2 since the 1-5 start.
It's feel good for this Boiler team, and especially their families coming to see their boys on senior night, to be able to put a resounding victory together for them. Brought it together by Alan Ryder and Cam Page. The first 2 goals really kick-starting this offensive show-off for the Boilermakers, and then Tyler Groen and Ben Toby also adding into that mix.
Indiana came in as the underdogs, and to their credit, brought a lot of intensity in the first couple minutes, had 2 quick goals, had the lead for a moment, but ultimately Purdue with some stellar goaltending from Mitnacht. I don't think any of these 3 goals were particularly bad ones that he let up. And Purdue is going to get out of Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion with a 6-3 win, and they have all but locked up first place in the ACHA.
What a game here at the Pop Weaver Stadium. Boilermakers happy to rejoice and see a victory on their senior night at home. This will be the last time we call the game from home for the season. I hope you follow us as the season progresses. We'll be following as well. Follow us at any of our social media, at Boiler Hockey on Instagram or at Purdue Hockey on Facebook.
Final score 6-3 on senior day. Franks, Ryder, Groen, Rawlings, Theodore, and Toby all in their last home game. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday.